The 2.0 update is officially here, which means we got a ton of things and a ton of stuff in our mail. The most important one being these 60 cognite shards. These are used to unlock one awareness on one of your 5-star characters. And this isn't just standard 5 stars either. We got Manami here, we got Ren here, and we got Yui here. And honestly, you want to make sure not to waste these because these are a very rare resource. As always, if I do help you out, consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video because it does help me and the video out an absolute ton. Let's get right on into it. Now, there is a little bit of a disclaimer I want to put here, because if you look at it in the mailbox, it says it expires after 365 days. So I don't think you have to claim these immediately, and I saw some people talking about this. In the future, they might add more characters to this pool. They've already added Joker and Yui as claimable characters with these cognite shards, so in the future, if they were to add 2 more characters to this pool, it would be Fox and Queen. And as we all know, Queen's A1 is very good. Now, this isn't me immediately telling you to save all of these shards, but they do sit in your mailbox, it says, for 365 days till it expires. So if that's something you are interested in doing, keep that in mind. I'm not saying they are definitely going to add these characters to this pool, and if it was to happen, I'm willing to bet it's not going to happen anytime soon. But it does seem like something to keep in mind and something to consider when deciding if you want to use these or not. So I figured I'd mention that. But for now, let's go over the characters that you can use this on right now if you choose to. And I'm going to go over them in order, which means first up on the list, we have Ryuji. The way Ryuji's A1 works is that you increase damage of God Hand Burst by 20% when in the charging gear state, decrease damage taken by 20%. It's honestly not the worst A1 in the game. Ryuji is a character that wants to be spamming this ability a lot. Therefore, this awareness, if you do play Ryuji a ton, is not bad at all. This is his big damage hit, and decreasing his damage taken is honestly not bad either. Although you do want Ryuji to preferably stay low HP when you're playing as him, this can help with teetering the line between low HP and just outright dying. So really not a bad A1 if you play Ryuji a ton. I'll say that much. Next up on this list would be Morgana, which is right next to Ryuji for me. Morgana's awareness 1 is add the following effect to Chivalry. Restore HP of allies with less than 50% HP remaining by 30% of Morgana's attack. This makes Morgana an even better sustainer and an even better healer. When your allies are low, Morgana will put even more power into healing them, which can honestly save you in a lot of different situations. The thing is, does Morgana really need this A1 to be useful? Not really. Morgana is a fine sustainer, just on his own. That by no means is me saying it's a bad A1, but out of the ones that you can claim, this isn't one that I would really prioritize. The next one on the list would be Yao Ling or Rin. Rin's A1 is honestly more of a quality of life thing to me than anything. At the start of battle, you gain 1 Mangpo soup stack. This means you're able to open up with Rin's skill 3 rather than her skill 1 in rotations. It actually is a slight damage boost to whatever team you're playing her in, but it's not super significant in all honesty. Don't get me wrong, again, this isn't me saying it's bad, but it's not overwhelmingly significant. Although I'll admit it is very nice and I'm glad I do have it. But there is another big reason that I wouldn't grab Rin's, and that's because Joker is in this pool, and I'll get more into that when I get to Joker. The next one as we're going down the list would be On. And On honestly is a character that is blessed to have good awarenesses across the board. On's awareness 1 though, when La Vie en Rose is active, increase party's attack by 25% for 1 turn. This awareness helps On buff your entire party just for doing what she wants to do in the first place, so this basically ends up being a passive buff, although it is only for 1 turn. Like I said, all of On's awarenesses are good. And out of the pool of standard banner characters we have right now, she is the one that technically lives the longest. Moving on to the final current standard banner character we have on this list, and that's Riddle. I actually don't even have a copy of Riddle, so I actually have to show you this one from Lufulnet. But Riddle's A1 makes it so when an ally deals damage with a skill, increase her attack by 20%, stacking up to 3 times. Additionally, when Haruna's attack increases for a 2nd time, increase party's damage by 15% for 1 turn. Honestly, the thing is, it's not a bad awareness. It is fine. It is a fine A1. There's only one problem with it. It's attached to Riddle. Out of all the characters you can possibly get an awareness for, Riddle is going to be the one that you probably want to be using the least. And for all of you who say I hate on Riddle for no reason, I swear to you, this character is a 4-star with a 5-star motor. This character could become a 4-star overnight and I guarantee no one would notice. All jokes aside, if you do like Riddle and you like playing Riddle, you can get this A1 and it will make the character more useful for you. But honestly, if you do play this character consistently, I'm just going to assume you enjoy pain and suffering. Now, here's the thing with all of the characters I just mentioned. On, Ryuji, Morgana, Riddle, Rin. These are all standard banner characters. These characters are all currently on standard banner. You can obtain each and every one of these characters with gold tickets, and if you go back to your plans, when you complete plan 3, if you haven't already, you get a cognite for one 5-star Phantom Thief, and it is for a standard 5-star only. Technically get an A1 for one of these characters from this. If you are a free-to-play player, I really can't recommend using these shards to get a standard awareness if you're looking for something optimal. It would be way more worth it for you to get a limited 5-star awareness, because most free-to-play players won't be able to pull these themselves, and you will eventually get the awarenesses for the standard banner characters anyway. Even if you're a light spender, it kind of goes the same way. You will eventually get the standard 5-star awarenesses anyway. So think about that before you use these shards on any of these previously mentioned characters. Now, for the next 3 characters, Manami is up next, but she's a weird one because she just fell into Sega's 6-month jail and she was the first victim of it. So she will eventually be added to the standard pool. She's just not there yet. But her A1 is honestly pretty insane. What it does is when healing allies above max HP, increase target's pierce rate by 20% for 2 turns. This means that just for healing, Manami's able to buff your team even more, which this character is always overhealing anyway, so you end up proccing this all the time. Now, with this character, she has something similar going on. Her A1 is really good, but she will eventually be added to standard. This honestly really is something to keep in mind because you're gonna have to gauge if this is worth it for you or not. For the majority of players that have Manami, this is probably where they're gonna spend their shard. It is a really good A1. If you're really patient and you would really just prefer to wait until she goes to standard, you can do that as well. Albeit, you would be leaving it up to an RNG factor because there is a chance you just never even pull her when she goes to the standard banner. If this is worth it for you is completely up to you. It does technically fall into the basis of your future luck. If you aren't willing to gamble that, her A1 is honestly really strong and definitely one to consider. If you are willing to gamble that, I wish you the best of luck with getting it in the future. Now, moving on to the limited 5-star characters that were added to this, that would be Joker and Yui. First up being Joker, with his A1 being increase skill damage to the main target by 30% and increase skill damage to other targets by 10%. This is a very straightforward awareness. Increase skill damage. That's it. 30% to the main target, 10% to everyone else. It literally just makes Joker do more damage passively. You don't have to think about it at all. Now, if you're someone that plays Joker a lot, and if you're someone that loves Joker, this is one to consider. We're all fully aware he doesn't last forever in the meta, but what character does? This awareness can help him keep up for a little bit longer than he would. So if you really love Joker, it's a really good one to have. And since he is a limited 5-star character, it's one to consider, because the only other way to acquire his awarenesses is by using your limited pulls, which could be used to get new limited characters. And the final character in this pool is the classic trigger warning on my channel, Yui. Yui's A1 is actually pretty good. It increases critical rate of follow-up attacks by 20% and increased critical rate by 10% after landing a follow-up attack on shocked foes. Your enemies should be shocked when you're playing Yui anyway, so basically just think of this as a 30% critical rate increase to her follow-up attacks. This allows you to put more focus into stats like critical damage when building her, increasing her damage by honestly quite a bit. Funnily enough, for being a character that a lot of people clown on, it is a good A1. She falls into the same category as Joker. If this is a character that you really do love, and you're fully aware that she's already been kind of pushed out of the meta because Queen exists, and you want Yui to feel a little bit more powerful, this is a really good one to have. So for your quick recap, if you would want one, I really do recommend getting either Yui's, Joker's, or Manami's. These are the 3 priority ones. Which of them is the highest priority for you is honestly up to you. If you wanted me to list them, I would take Manami's as the first priority, and then I would honestly list Yui and Joker decently evenly. I do believe that they both have their places, and I believe that Manami's is the best out of all of them. But you should think about the characters that you enjoy playing, because the ones you'll get the most value out of are the ones that you play the most anyway. Although I wouldn't recommend using it on all the standard 5-star characters, if you really like playing them, you can go back and consider it. Although I really wouldn't recommend using it on any of the standard 5-star characters. And those are all the awarenesses you can currently claim with your 60 free cognite shards, and the ones that I personally recommend. As always, if I did help you out, consider subscribing to the channel because I would love to see you here again sometime. That's going to be all from me. I'm out. Peace.